Hello, everyone. My name is Richard Thripp, and I'm running for Congress in Florida's 6th District. That's including Volusia and Flagler County, as well as the southern part of St. John's and the north eastern part of Lake. I just got off an interview with the Orlando Sentinel's editorial board. They are looking to make an endorsement in the Democratic primary. I'm hopeful, and I think that I did a fine job, and my whole team of volunteers has done a great job. We're working really hard to get the word out and to show a different message, a different future for our country. We've left behind so many Americans. We've lost over 100,000 Americans due to COVID-19. It's something that could have been prevented early on if Donald Trump and his administration would have made the right steps. There was a chance then to prevent the spread of this to every state and county in our nation. Now we are playing damage control, and that has cost us tens of millions of jobs, about 40 million jobs. It's cost us many trillions of dollars, and it's cost us 100,000 American lives and counting. And even now, Donald Trump will not stop. And Michael Wallace, the congressman who's currently in office and is very close friends with him, they will not stop with the propaganda, the fake news, the infighting, the division, the attacks. We're just sick of it. Why does the American people who are still supporting Trump support him at this point? I want to ask you, what has he done for you? Because basically it's been a huge giveaway to the rich in this administration in these past few years. It's been worse than we've seen in modern history. And it's continued now. We're having big bailouts to real estate moguls who didn't need it. We're having our lobbyists are getting on government payroll. It's just out of control, while Floridians, Central Floridians, and Americans all over this nation are struggling, and they're just not able to get the relief that they need. Relief delayed is relief denied. I hope that you'll join me. My name is Richard Thripp, Thripp. You can go online at thripp.com. I was born in Daytona Beach, and I've lived in Volusia County, Florida my whole life. I'm only 28 years old, but I have expertise that I've built up over time. I've worked at University of Central Florida for nearly 4 years up until last semester, and I've earned a PhD in education where I studied the financial literacy and financial knowledge of future teachers. And doing so, I learned that we need to work on financial education, but we also need to work on our lawmakers. The way we make laws cannot be funded by the people who benefit from those laws. And that's what we have. And that's why I really need your support if you can provide it. I know it's a difficult time, but go online to thripp.com, thripp.com, and please donate or sign up to volunteer today. And I also want to ask, if you haven't already, to go to the state website. I believe it's register-to-vote-florida.com, register-to-vote-florida.gov, .gov. And go on register-to-vote-florida.gov and update your voter registration if you haven't, and change parties. I want you, if you're a non-party affiliated voter, we want you to become a Democrat. And let me tell you why. I know the Democratic Party isn't perfect, but they're the best shot we have in this country. They're actually moving in the right direction, whereas the Republican Party is moving precisely in the wrong direction. And as for other minor parties, unfortunately, they just don't really have a shot when it comes to winning a federal race or even most local races. So become a Democrat, because when you do, you're going to help us change the numbers in this district and in Volusia County. You're going to help us, because if we get to parity, although I don't have much money and I am running for the first time, we can get momentum behind me after the August 18th primary. When I win, there will be big momentum. When Stephanie Murphy ran in the 7th district, which is Seminole County, she filed at the end of June, which is even later than we are in the cycle now. And so she didn't start till the end of June, but she got a lot of contributions from state and national organizations that wanted to get John Micah out and wanted to flip this 7th district blue. This could happen here, but we need the numbers. And that's the same thing my primary opponent is working on, and I support him 100%. And whoever wins in August is going to have my full support, whether it's me or whether it's him. Also, after you do your registration update, If you're changing address or registering for the first time, wait a couple days. If you're just changing parties, go ahead and do it immediately. And that is to go to your state supervisor of elections office website for your county. That's Volusia Elections or Flagler or St. John's or Lake. And you can just Google search that, it'll pop right up. Sign up to vote by mail. We're hearing a lot of crazy rhetoric about vote by mail that simply is not true. Some of it is saying paper ballots are dangerous. Well, when you go and vote in person, that's a paper ballot too. Vote by mail has worked well for many, many decades for our soldiers, for our people who aren't able to get to the polls. And right now, we are in an unprecedented situation in modern America. We've never had a pandemic like this in modern America. And so that's why you need to sign up today. Do not wait. In Wisconsin, what happened was that many people signed up weeks in advance, but they never got their ballots because the state was overwhelmed, and a Republican-controlled court that really was acting in the interest of partisanship rather than the law and what's right, they ruled that all of those people who signed up to vote by mail, too bad, they had to vote in person during a pandemic. And that literally led to many people contracting coronavirus. That's why you need to do it now. You need to do it today because you want to get it in there now so they're not flooded with these vote by mail signups. Do not listen to Donald Trump when he says that vote by mail is dangerous, that there's going to be out of control fraud. He does not have the facts on his side. Like so many things, he doesn't have the truth behind him. And that's what matters in 2020. It's the truth and what is right for 99% of hardworking Americans and not the top who already have done very well. We are a nation of unprecedented prosperity in the history of humankind. We are the wealthiest nation on earth. We have the best land, the best resources, the best people, the hardest working, and the most dedicated and generous and charitable people. There's no reason that we should be squandering our prosperity like we are right now. You need to change it. You need to be part of the solution. And that's why I have endorsed Joe Biden for President of the United States. And when it comes in November, or actually I want you to be voting in October because you're voting by mail, remember. When it comes to that ballot, you'll see Joe Biden, and then right below, Richard Thripp versus Michael Wallace. Michael Wallace, people when he got in, thought that he was going to be bipartisan and he was going to be pragmatic. Totally false. He's turned out to be almost as ridiculous as Representative Matt Gaetz in his ridiculousness and his partisanship and his lies and propaganda. He doesn't live here. He lives outside the district in St. Augustine Beach. Michael Wallace doesn't live here. He doesn't represent you. He doesn't know you. He doesn't care about you. He basically bought his congressional seat. He put in $600,000 of his money, which partly came from dealing in intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance systems in Libya, which is a very dangerous place to sell that sort of thing because you don't know whose hands it's going to end up in the end. So that's why we need to make a change. And I'm asking you as a fellow person, not as a Democrat, not as a Republican, but as a fellow person, I'm asking you for your backing and your support in this dangerous and tragic time. Thank you, and please have a good night.